All right, guys, welcome to our first ever DuoQueue podcast, a podcast where we talk about all the recent developments in League of Legends and the Oceanic community. I'm your host, Alicifer, and joining with me today is also Jason.
Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we've got some awesome guests with us. We've got Near and Flex from UVladBro and League of Legends Memes. They're joining us a little bit later today to talk about their recent YouTube video, Why I Love League of Legends but Hate Playing. But right now we've got Strath from University of Queensland League of Legends, and we've got Raymond from University of Auckland Video Game Society to talk to us about the upcoming Winter Arena. So hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, Jason. I think you might need to just fix the overlay though.
Yes.
All right, guys, so please introduce yourselves and give us a bit of an overview about your clubs. Let's start off with Raymond.
Hey, I'm Raymond. I'm currently co-president of the University of Auckland Video Game Club. We're a general video game club, but obviously we have a huge LoL community within the club. We hold various events, and yeah, I guess that's the short version of that.
All right, and I'm Strath. I'm the events and social media manager in UQlol. So I do all the Twitch, the YouTube, the Facebook, kind of help manage all that, and then also am the head of events organization. So we do social nights. So we have not just.
Did I lose audio?
Oh, I think you're still here.
Still here.
You're still here. Your video is just a little bit
Framey.
A little bit framey, but continue. We can still hear you.
So is Raymond carrying on, or am I carrying on?
Just carry on, Strath.
All right. So we do social nights, or once every second week on a Thursday, we do nights where we either do have a big gaming hub and we set up like games together, or we have like trivia nights and things like that. So we try to keep more of a social side to League of Legends as opposed to the traditional gaming side that is implied with LCS and things like that.
All right, so what did you guys first think when Riot contacted you about being part of the Winter Arena?
I think Raymond's still here now.
Raymond's back. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, was I lagging? I seem to, did I drop from the call or something?
I think it's just a little bit slow.
We'll just start off with you, Strath, because Raymond's having a little bit of issues.
So Riot didn't explicitly contact me. They contact some of my co-workers. Normally, matters are dealt through with other people and then handed to the right departments. So they contacted our treasurer and our president and said, look, this thing's coming up. Can you make a team together? And so we talked together and we started some preliminary tryouts, and we decided that wasn't the best way to go about things. So then we started for submission forms and went from there.
Yeah, and how about you, Raymond?
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the same boat. I wasn't actually directly contacted. It was our former president, Theo Martin, Snowy Padre. You may have heard of him. So he's also heading up the LoL team. So we decided to do so people applied for positions to be on the team, and we held some tryouts, and we assembled a team that way, and yeah.
Awesome. So did you guys have any, do you guys have a special training regime or training practice that you guys planned?
We do. We have a roster where players have to come in and, like I guess the higher end teams would have, they have like a ranked structure where they have to do fives, they do scrims, and where they do solo queue. I don't really want to be giving out exactly what our plan is, but we have, I guess, pushing 12 contact hours a week just for training for the arena.
So how did you guys go about organizing teams for the up-and-coming event?
Raymond would like to go first. I'm sure he can.
Organizing what?
Organizing your teams for the up-and-coming events.
It looks like he dropped out again.
Oh, sorry. I think I'm getting a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
I think you might be.
So Raymond, how are you guys going about preparing your team? How are you guys going about selecting your team and preparing your team for the Winter Regionals?
So, I mean, I guess we have the usual, training. They train once a week, or I think they try to scrim as much as they can and everything. They played in a tournament together. They came second, which is not bad for a first-time team that just was assembled. And yeah, I guess from what I've heard, we're also fear crafting and expanding champion pools. and all that stuff to make sure they win.
So did you guys find players that were already like familiar with each other and were already a team, or did you just sort of like pick and choose between the different people that applied?
So we initially had a setup where we had a duo bot lane who were very familiar with each other, and they liked how each other's playstyle. They were essentially like one unit playing as two people, and we liked how that structure went. But as we developed and got more people joining, and other people's commitments and time that they could allocate dropped, then we kind of adjusted and said, okay, we've got this level support player, this level like mid laner kind of thing. So let's work around them and try to find players who suit them more, because with availability dropping, we need to find people who are A, able to practice, and B, able to synergize well. And that's, I think the key focus is synergy with a high elo team.
Now, I really have to ask, you are both from different League of Legends communities. One's Queensland, one's New Zealand. What sort of activities does your clubs run, and how do you go about growing that League of Legends community? Start off with Raymond.
Oh, okay. So we actually hold a sort of like a social gathering every week. It used to be the LOL social, then it was just a gaming social, and I think this year it's technically still a gaming social event, but it's basically back to LOL full 100% again. But yeah, so that's like the main place we try to get people to come in, just play games, just play casual games. We try to have like a little giveaway every week, and yeah, a good like social, casual environment for people to meet new players and just play some LOL.
Yeah, and as I said before, we run every second Thursday. We run social events, and some of them alter from gaming, and some of them, trivia nights, maybe, just playing random LOL games, I guess, like party games that you could put a LOL twist on, those kind of cheesy things that gets everyone, I guess, in a good mood. So we play those every second week. And yeah, we kind of just also in breaks, we kind of host tournaments as well. We want to keep the competitive side up, but we want to also focus on, everyone come out bowling, next week, and get a bunch of people come out bowling. We'll just hang out.
Excellent.
Awesome. So like, yeah, definitely there's a balance between being social and being competitive, but more so towards the social side, eh?
Yeah, definitely. It's being a video game where you're not necessarily with each other as much as you can. There's no inbuilt chat. There's nothing like that. You don't really have that social aspect as much as other games like, I guess, Counter-Strike do, where you can have those voice chats and still communicate with each other without typing. So I think it's important to emphasize on being social in an otherwise unsocial game.
Okay. So of course you guys would have had a lot of like really social and casual players within your group. When you guys opened up applications for people to compete in the Winter Arena, did you feel bad having to turn away so many people that were really excited to play?
Oh, it does feel bad having to turn away, because everyone wants to play. Everyone wants to be able to represent their community. But, having said that, it's hard to emphasize that this is going to be against, the immunities and the teams like that. We can't just necessarily be letting everyone in because it is such a tight schedule. And it's hard to emphasize that without really, crushing people's dreams. So I did feel pretty bad when I was talking about that to the people who did apply.
Yeah, that would be really hard. All right, so I do have to ask as well, do you guys have any interesting plans or events coming up in the near future?
We've announced it kind of. It's like a state of origin. So like New South Wales versus Queensland in the rugby league. We kind of have a similar structure going, where we're going to challenge UNSW, which is, I guess, our rival university in New South Wales, to, I guess, some games for the state of origin.
I wonder if New South Wales will finally win a game.
Well, maybe we can get them 7 years running as well.
That'd be great.
Oh, I think Raymond's back.
Yep, just I put him back into call.
Excellent.
And hopefully, Raymond, you back? We can see you at least.
Hello?
Yes.
There we go.
Can't hear anything.
Oh,
Okay,
well.
it'll catch up with you in a moment. You should be at uni. Why aren't you at uni right now? But yeah, awesome. So, yeah, going back to that previous question, can you repeat the question again, Alicifer?
Yeah, of course. for Raymond, do you have any interesting plans or events coming up in the near future for your club?
Still not sure if this audio is working.
Yeah. We might just move on to the next question until
Okay.
Raymond fixes it.
Okay, I think something bugged out. I can't hear anything at the moment, like on this computer in general.
Oh no. Check your sound mixer.
So,
Oh, he can't even hear me. It doesn't even matter what I say
No.
on stream.
You can't hear it.
All right, let's just continue on with Strath.
All right. So Strath, obviously, Riot, including universities into Winter Arena, is their way of really trying to get university clubs involved into the more competitive side of things. How has it really affected the success of your club?
Oh, honestly, the day they announced it, we got 20 people within the first, I guess, 2 hours just wanting to join the club because I guess we got free advertising from Riot saying, hey, look, this club's running in the Winter Arena. If you sign up to them, they might let you in, kind of thing, which is awesome. We got more people joining. We can have more activities. Only problem is when they're from other states and they can't actually really come to events that we host. Apart from that, though, it's really good publicity, and it's actually been almost a godsend from Riot just to let us know or let other people know that we exist, and that our popularity and I guess community involvement is just shot up, and it's amazing.
Do you think there's any other way that Riot can kind of emphasize that you guys exist, and do you reckon that there's a format that they could use for that?
Honestly, they've said that we're a thing and, that we're going to be competing. I think really now it's up to us, the staff and the executive on the board, to really demonstrate that we're worth the publicity. It's all well and good saying that this club exists, but if we're not showing that we're worth, Riot spending their time on, then Riot shouldn't be spending any time on us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. How well do you guys think you'll go in the tournament?
Without sounding arrogant, I think that we're going to do quite well just in the collegiate scene, so against the other universities, but I guess only time will tell with the rest of the GUF tournaments and things like that will be happening.
Yes.
So it must be kind of tough because at the same time, players who qualify for the collegiate program, they also can't play on teams if they went to an internet cafe qualifier. So did you see like a lot of potentially strong players that go to UQ be forced to choose between their own professional team and like a university team?
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because we have the Uber Bros, UQ, one of them is a UQ member and one of them is from Queensland. So we could technically, if we wanted to, get them on board, but then it would kill our chances or Dignitas's chances for if we actually do qualify. So while I would love to be selfish and say, let's take the Uber Bros, you can't really do that to Dignitas and rip a whole team apart.
No, that is definitely fair enough. I mean, with all these new like NA companies coming across, you got Curse and you got Dignitas. What's your prediction on maybe the next like big company coming across? And if they do come across, who do you think that they might pick up?
Honestly, because it's kind of hard with other teams already having kind of loyalty and things like that. But the ones I've seen expanding the most would either be Cloud9, because they've got Cloud9 Eclipse, and also Tempest, which is one in Tempest in America and Eclipse in the Europe scene. But then you also have other international teams. You had CLG, which had its EU branch, which is now obviously its NA branch. The EG now. And I was just, it's kind of interesting to see those things. But honestly, I don't think I could make a call without, I guess, knowing who would be the most, beneficial team to pick up. You have obviously the other ones that have been picked up at the moment, but I think maybe AV or because Immunity can't be bought from an international company, so maybe Avant-Garde might be the next to be picked up, but I can't really call that shot.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple of like really strong players floating around, like especially after one of the Avant teams disbanded recently. So yeah, there's a lot of good players floating around. So yeah, maybe we might see like, I don't know, what CLG or Cloud9, or maybe even TSM like pick up a team in Australia. Who knows?
Interesting.
So yeah,
TSM would be pretty cool.
yeah. Raymond, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Awesome. Man. Oh,
Hopefully.
Yeah. The video is a lot more fluid. So anyways, just going back to a couple of questions that we asked before to catch up. So when Riot announced that University of Auckland was going to be a part of the Winter Arena, did you notice like a really big explosion of like awareness and popularity of your club?
I don't know about that. We definitely had like interest from people wanting to be on the team and everything. But yeah, I wouldn't say there was an explosion of popularity. Like, we're a decently sized club on campus anyway, so yeah. I mean, it was all right, I guess.
Yeah. Do you find that there's a bigger pressure on you guys because you're one of the very few teams from New Zealand that is going to compete in this 16?
Yeah, definitely, but I mean, like it's a small country and it's just one university from like one country, so I mean, you just got to work with what you've been dealt with, and like we'll try our best.
And do you think that there might be any way that Riot can improve the format of your team club to help try and get a little bit more popularity and just notice for your community?
I guess like more awareness would help. I think more incentives to compete would probably be the best thing, and but yeah, I mean, like, as popular as LoL is, I mean, grassroots initiatives like this do take time to take hold. So, like, maybe in the future it'll be a lot bigger. This is the first time it's coming through. So, yeah.
Awesome. So, how do you reckon you guys will go in this tournament? Let's start with Raymond.
Yeah, I have no clue actually. Yeah, sorry about that. I am not super familiar, like all the competition and everything. So, I mean, I hope we do well. I hope we win. Like, best case scenario.
And what about you, Strath?
I think we dealt with this just before, but I definitely think we're in a very strong contention to win. I think first or second in the collegiate, and then I'm not sure if it's divided into sub branches or anything like that, or ladders, but I think we'll do very well as far as the collegiate is concerned, and it's all really a matter of who qualifies at the GUF tournaments and things like that all over the country.
All right. So what sort of advice would you guys give to other students at other universities or schools who are looking to start or try to expand their League of Legends club?
I think I'll go. It's all about staff, to be honest. You need to be a good staffing to actually be successful. It's all well and good having ambition and dreams, but you really need someone. You need some ambition, but you really need someone to say, "Look, that's not going to happen." You really need people to say, to really, I guess, help you with your ambition and make those a reality. But you can't just all be off on random fairy tales and tangents. You actually need to be realistic, and then your club will grow naturally as time progresses.
And how about you, Ray?
Yeah, I'd probably just say go test the waters and see what people are looking for. Hey, LoL's the most popular game in the world at the moment. Chances are people will be interested, and I think you can work your way from there. And obviously, the administrative stuff is very important, and I have dealt with a ton of boring administrative stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, just be ready to be committed to it, and also, but don't be afraid to go do it. It's a good experience.
Yes, definitely. So, if New Zealand had as many players as Australia did, which country do you think would be better at League of Legends?
That was a bit of a biased question. I'm going to have to say Australia.
What about you, Raymond?
Well, per capita, well, we're pretty good at things per capita, so I think if we had a good population, would be pretty good as well. Like, obviously, per capita.
All right, per capita. So,
But yeah.
do you guys have any star players that are going to? Yeah. So, who's your star player for both your teams?
Oh, our team, we have 5-star players.
Oh,
Everyone's good on our team, but someone who really stands out is, I would say Carlos. He's fantastic in the top lane. We started him off in the jungle because he said, he's happy to do either. But then we did a top and jungle swap, and he really absolutely dominates on some of his favorite champions, which I can't tell you because I don't want them banned out by Auckland University. But he just does absolutely fantastically in the top lane, and the jungler is just as good in jungle as he is on top. So I'm not sure. I would say top just because he's so consistent, but we have some very good mechanical players, and with the team full of diamonds plus, you're going to get somewhere, and there's going to be everyone good.
And what about you?
I'd say as well, our top laner, as I think his ID was, he had to also a role, which I don't know what role he came from, but I've heard he's been really putting the effort in, and yeah, I've sort of mean. So, yeah.
that's actually pretty interesting to hear because in sort of like international esports, they say like Europe is really known for its mid laners, and NA is more well known for its AD carry. So maybe we could see Oceania being the region known for its excellent top lane play. Eh?
We do have Swiper. He is a pretty strong top laner, even if he is a little cheeky with wolf camps, but he's a pretty good player.
He's all right. He's all right.
Only Tryndamere, please. All right, just speaking about international as well, we do see that China has opened up, the League of Legends campus. What do you guys think of that? Do you reckon maybe we could benefit from something like that?
I think we could benefit from something like that, but the only problem is having, I guess, a 15th of the population that China does. We couldn't really, support that size of a campus, and then the issue was raised, where do you put it? Because, China has 1 billion people. We have 24 million or something like that. It's not necessarily something we could facilitate.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that's...
It is an interesting idea, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably would like to mention, because, it's kind of happened in Korea, hasn't it? CTU and back in the days for SC2, NS Host. So, they're all university teams, and they're all heavily supported by their various institutions. So, yeah. Until one of them disbanded, but yeah.
Yeah, it could be very interesting. So, one of the things that's sort of been developing is being challenger in the OCE is like being silver 5 in Korea. So, of course, you guys have some really strong players on your teams waiting to go. How many of those players are, would you say, sort of like Oceanic born and raised, and how many of those players like international imported talent?
We have a couple of people with accents, so I guess we could have we could pretend that they're international imports, but no, they're all UQ students, they're all Australians, so it's not really, we don't really have any imports. We're not really that rich to be funding that much money.
No, and we did have our very first gaming house as well. Like, Korea's had quite a few. They're very well ahead of us as far as modernizing and just kind of mainstreaming gaming. We're slowly catching up. So do you think maybe we could get away with having some more gaming houses? And also a gaming house in New Zealand, is that ever going to happen?
I think that may have happened for SC2, but I don't know if that was just someone's flat that they called a gaming house. But hey, anything's possible.
All right. Actually,
I like the idea of a gaming house as well. That's pretty cool, but I don't know if the guys who did it weren't that successful compared to like Immunity and AV and NV, so, and Little Wraith even. So I'm not sure if it was just the players or if it was the being distracted from all being in close proximity all the time.
So Raymond, more of a question for you. So of course, being in New Zealand, it's a much smaller country. So I hear you guys only really have two main scenes. You basically only have Auckland and Wellington. Does that make it a lot easier for everyone to travel around to the different tournaments? And do you guys always see like the same small group of competitive players at every tournament?
I mean, there is definitely that local factor to any event here, and it's like, I mean, some prominent people in the LoL scene here, like I went to high school with, so that's you know, I mean, quite large, but there's a bit of that small town vibe, or at least like big town, small city vibe to all our events. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, I've got one final joke question for you guys. So, if you guys had to get a rider tattooed on your chest, what rider would that be?
Oh, I already have one at Freak. It's on my my left cheek. So I don't know about Raymond, but I already have one in place.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd probably just say Greg Street, aka Ghost Crawler. He recently joined, so like that dude, like I like the way that dude designs games, so I'd probably say him. I don't know what his Riot pseudonym will be though, so it'll just be a face of Greg Street.
Yes, I don't know if that question was to me as well, but yeah. That's really good answers, guys.
All right. Well, so thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Really, really appreciate it. So, are there any shout outs you guys like to make while you guys are on stream?
Oh, I'd love to shout out to the whole staff, but I don't want to be here for that long. But if I could just like the events team, you guys are doing a great job at the moment with some top secret stuff, but you guys are doing an absolutely great job. All the exec, you guys are keeping me in line and, you know, helping us do our job properly. And the promotion team just bringing in all the people is absolutely fantastic. So keep up the good work, guys.
It's okay. Feel free to name names. Like, rap them out, man.
Gosh. Okay. Let's get out my notebook. But, you know, one of the biggest thanks probably goes out to Dan. He's always been, you know, he's been there from the get-go at the start of the club. And, you know, being the treasurer is kind of a really hard job. So I have heaps of respect for Dan and just, I guess, keep up the good work and, you know, keep at it.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, Raymond, how about you? Any shout-outs?
Yeah. Well, obviously to the rest of everyone in the University of Auckland Video Game Club, but especially to Theo, Snowy Padre, Martin, who has been a big help with all this, and you know, he's managing the LoL team, and you know, he's saying good things. So I hope everything works out pretty well. So yeah, shot Theo.
And if people want to find out more about you and how you get involved with the community, where can they find you?
So our group URL is facebook.com/group/LOLUQ, all one word. And you can also just look us up on Google or Facebook. And it's just, you know, University of Queensland League of Legends or UQlol.
Yep. So similar story for the University of Auckland Video Game Club. Facebook.com/ I think it's UA Video Game Club, or I think you can just Google us. So, yeah.
Awesome. Right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. So, mid last week, there was a League of Legends video that went viral, and it was called "Why I Love League of Legends but Hate Playing It." So, we'll be joined by the minds behind that video, Near and Flex, right after this break. So, for all of you guys who are watching on Twitch, stay tuned. We're going to play that video now. And for all you guys who are watching this on YouTube, there's going to be an annotation somewhere up on the screen. Click that, and yeah, click that and watch it. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, we're going to run the video now.
Enjoy. Welcome back, everyone. What an inspiring video. It just gives me goosebumps. We are now joined by Near and Flexizm. Say hi, guys.
How you doing?
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do. We'll start off with Near.
Oh, hey guys. I'm Near. I'm from League of Legends Memes, and I was just director of the video, and yeah.
My name is Jesse. I'm a professional beatboxer and producer, and I'm from here, just right here on the internet.
Wait, are you talking to me? Wait, did you say Oh, sorry. I'm actually Canadian, and Jesse's Australian. That's why, you could hear it from the video.
All right. So, would you guys mind telling us a bit of a thought process behind the video?
Jesse,
Yeah,
do
you
you want
take
to
this
start
one.
out, or?
Yeah, we'll start
Okay.
off with Jesse.
Oh no,
Well,
all right, all right, all right. Well, the Nia approached me a while ago, a long while ago, about an idea he had. Uh, he wanted to. He was inspired by the video "Why I Love Learning but Hate Education," and I instantly loved the idea of it. So he gave me some ideas about how he wanted it to go, and from there we started from scratch. I composed the lyrics to start off with, and then the very long process of composing the actual music to go behind it. So yeah, it was a brilliant idea, and massive respect to Nia for coming up with the idea of it.
do you want me to go? All right. Well, the video originally it was just like, because I've been playing League for 2 years, and like from the start the game was really enjoyable. But as I started getting better, I started playing more, and like I've noticed the community began to grow more toxic, more AFK, and like it was just sort of like I was on the verge of quitting. But the only reason I kept playing League was because I own a League of Legends memes page. But then as a, I noticed how I really love this game, like how this game was created. It has amazing community despite the toxic community, but it still has amazing community, and like Riot is a great Riot's a great company compared to like Nexon with MapleStory. Like it's just a great company, great game, but the community is just a little toxic, and like it just was disencouraging for me to play the game, and I just thought it like this video really uh, uh got like
Would have an
yeah.
impact. It would change even just a small part of it. It would hopefully just change some of that, or start something. So people would have their own, motivation to change.
Yeah, so Nia, you've been playing for 2 years. How about you, Flex? How long have you been playing League of Legends?
Oh gosh, I think I started in 2010, I think. So I think it'll almost be 4 years.
Wow, so you would have started playing in like season 1 or like almost like right after the beta, eh?
Yeah, I think I started playing right after the beta. I think it was. I think that's what it was. Yeah. And I still remember my very first game. I picked Malphite because he looked cool, and I think I played him with 3 Doran's blades, and I failed miserably. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
No, it's very, very true. There is so much toxicity in the community. There's a lot of good, but a lot of bad as well. Now, this video has had quite a bit of success, like reaching almost 500,000 views. Like, that is huge. Were you guys expecting such positive feedback? And like considering a lot of Riot esports videos don't even reach that high.
Well, personally, when I came up with the idea and talked with Jesse, and after hearing Jesse perform it, I knew it from the moment I played his spoken word. Like I knew it was gonna be instant success. It was gonna be viral because personally, I know many people who could relate to me. Like they talk to me how like this game is just amazing, but like the community is just so like sometimes so toxic. It's discouraging to play. And, like I knew this. It wasn't just like me have that feeling. A lot of players, personally, because I'm on the page, I would understand that had this feeling, and like I knew this video was gonna be a success, and I figured with League of Legends memes and my connections, I could get this video up there, but I didn't expect the amount of feedback to this level where Riot tier pro players like Chaos, Meteos, Snoop A shared it. It was just amazing.
Oh man. What about you, Jesse? What were you thinking?
I've always been a massive fan of poetry and spoken word poetry. And so when Nia presented the idea to me and told me how he wanted it to play out, I think I knew as well from there on that it was something that had never been done before. It was something that everyone could relate to. And I just knew that it was going to be accepted well by the community. And I think I knew for certain because the song that I released, Toxic, on Dave K Thanks Bye's channel, that there was accepted very well as well because of the fact that it was so easily relatable to such a large player base. Everyone has to deal with the same problems that we are, no matter whether they're from another country, speaking another language, or no matter what it is, everyone has to deal with those same problems. So I kind of knew that it was going to be very successful. So.
Oh, that's fine. And so you guys would have received a lot of interesting comments from the community and writers. Was there anything that really kind of stuck with you, or was there anything that really just like showed that it was all worth it? Neil, let's start with you.
Well, personally, we've got a lot of messages just from that Reddit thread. We had like hundreds of, maybe even thousands of messages just from combining everything. People were saying like, it really changed me. Lots of players were like, personally, they know they're a toxic player, and they just said like, it really touched me considering like how they know like what every player is like, and how even though like them changing, it won't even matter to the game, but it still affects every player, and it does make an impact. And like we got lots of players messaging, they're like, you know what, like I've learned and I'm gonna change. This is it. We shouldn't be toxic like that. Like everyone should change. Doesn't matter if doesn't matter if you changing, like it won't change the whole community, but you got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Jesse?
I guess the part that made me understand it was all worth it, because it was a lot of work to create this project. The composing of the track itself was I think it was around 5 months, especially because I had a lot of things on at the same time. But it was so much effort, and I think the part that made it worth it was going through and it sounds cheesy almost, but seeing the amount of people who said that brought them to tears or made them feel like they were about to cry, and that's including Chaos, that's including Riot employees, and you know, one Riot employee, I can't remember his name, but he even said that it was one of the best pieces of content he'd seen in a very, very, very long time. And so just the fact that it could bring that much emotion to people, I think, was the selling point for me.
Wow, that's really amazing, guys. It's great to hear that you guys got so much great feedback from it. So just information for all those players that, let's say, didn't start playing until like the last 12 or 18 months. You talk about how League of Legends was like, the community was a lot more different maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, like sort of in the golden age of League of Legends. How would you describe how is it different? Or yeah.
I think.
Do you want to go with this one, Jesse?
Yeah, sure. I think it's back then. Smurfing was not such a massive deal. Like now, there's people who have 3 and 4 Smurf accounts, and I think it's the fact that it wasn't just how the community was back then. It was when you started, everyone was in the same boat. Everyone was just learning the game. Everyone was figuring out what works, what's the correct meta, and everything else like that. And so as a result, everyone was keen to share information with each other and to help someone who didn't know what to do along. But now that, considering there's so many Smurfs and people have been playing for years on end, now it's almost expected that people should just jump into the game and know what they're talking about. And so I think that's where it changed. People forget that even though someone has 800 wins, 900 wins, that they might still be in the learning phase with certain champions, certain meta changes, even certain patch changes. So I think just having that understanding that even you as a player, I've got over 3,000 games under my belt. There's still things that I learn on a day that people tell me that there's tricks that I did not know. So just keeping that understanding would just help so much in the player base that we have now.
Yeah, and I agree, because like we're at the point where 1 year ago, most players in the league, everyone was just starting out. Everyone was like everyone was trying out new things, you know, Ash mid, and like it was just nobody minded because like everyone just let them do their own things. But now we're at the point, because I believe it was because of esports development, and everyone started watching the LCS, and they just looked at that, and people assumed that the meta was top jungle, mid, ADC support. Like there wouldn't be anything else, and they force the meta on players, and like some people they want to try something new, and they're just like raged at anything like if you play anything beyond the meta, you're just being raged on, and I just think like we should just let people enjoy whatever they do, and as long as they're not feeding or trolling on purpose, when you try a new meta.
Look at one of the only teams to completely stomp Moscow 5 in one of their games was an Asian team who had ADC and support mid, and they completely stomped them. And Moscow 5 was one of the biggest teams at the time that everyone was believing in. And so it just goes to show that your meta and your play style isn't set in stone, and that it can work otherwise, and that people should be open-minded to that.
Yes.
Right. I remember Ashmere with teleport and clarity. It was great back in Metal Season 1. Now, also, let's just talking about the community. So you two established from both completely different areas. We've got Oceanic and we've got NA. Have you guys noticed that there's a big cultural difference between the two regions?
Personally, because I'm League memes, majority of our fans comes from Australia, and one of our admins is Australia, so I know a lot of the toxicity. Like I'd say the amount of toxic player the most is at OCE, because the lack of tribunal, and like people can just leave whenever they want, and NA is actually getting a lot better now. Like I've actually had a lot less toxic player, but like OC, it's still really at its worst right now.
Yeah, I remember when I moved from NA servers before OCE came out, and I miss NA servers a lot. So hopefully when I go to America, I'll be able to play on them again. But yeah, the change between OCE and NA, Australians needless to say, we're a rowdy bunch, and we're very open to what we want to say, and yeah, it definitely shows to the community.
Definitely.
All right. So Nia, you live in Canada, and so that would be a part of the NA server. Do you find that there's any sort of like cultural differences online in regards to what Canadians their culture or their mindset is like versus like North Americans? Is there any divide?
No, I feel like Canadians are basically the same as Americans. People always say Canadians are all nice and polite and stuff. No, it's not true. We're the same as Americans. I mean, maybe a little more polite than Americans, but we're on the same level. And NA, yeah, we're probably the same. But we're a lot different than Australians, I'd say. I mean, Australians, they're kind of sometimes a little toxic.
Just a little sometimes. All right, so I also want to ask, in your video, you talk about being the change that you want to see, but what do you actually mean, and what sort of things do you think people can do to bring back those super happy fun times again? We'll start off with Jesse.
Being the change you want to see, I guess it was spoken about in the earlier part of the video, where you don't realize that your actions have a butterfly effect. And I know for a fact that there would be days where I would be on League of Legends, and I've had an average day, and some person who's had an absolutely terrible day has come on and they've gone and made my game completely unenjoyable. And as a result, my next game was even worse. I was the one who was flaming and having a go at everyone. And then it got to the point that one person messaged me one day afterwards and just simply said, "You know what? I was giving my best in that game, and I had no idea why you were talking to me like that." And it made me really think, because you don't realize how many people your actions affect. So automatically, the moment you change the way you are, the people in your immediate surroundings and even not immediate surroundings will change as well. So I think the biggest thing, if I had to give my opinion on what would change that, it would simply be put yourself in their shoes. It's not everyone has the same internet connection as you. Not everyone has the same experience. Not everyone mains the same players and champions, and not everyone plays the same lane. So no matter what it is, there's always different scenarios that they might be in. Just put yourself in their shoes and and imagine what they might be going through. Because there's been plenty of times that I've been in a game and have been unable to explain to people, yes, I'm on the phone and I'm playing with one hand and my internet connection is lagging. So, so.
Yeah, and how about you, Near? What do you reckon?
Could you repeat the question again? Sorry.
All right. So in the video, you talk about the change that you want to see, but what do you actually mean, and what do you think people can do to bring back those super happy fun times again?
Well, first, you can't really expect other people to change if you're not willing to change. That's the first thing. You can't expect everyone to be like nice and cheerful to you if you're just gonna be like super just negative and toxic to them, right? And wait, what was the second one?
And what do you think people can do to bring back the fun times again?
Well, I mean, few people gave me constructive criticism regarding the video, saying how the feeling that we have towards that excitement from the start of game, it wasn't really like something because everyone was toxic. There's probably feeders and did like AFKs back when we started, but like it was more of a how do you pronounce that word?
Nostalgic?
Yeah,
Nostalgia.
nostalgic. Yeah, that feeling of nostalgic. That's that excitement for the fresh new game that we had towards League. But League can still be fun. I mean, like look at Earth, and that was just like amazing for us. Like it's just hard to bring back that certain feeling, but you just try to enjoy the game as much as possible.
Oh, that's true. So, do you guys have anything planned for the near future?
Near future. Puns.
No pun intended.
Sorry.
I guess it's really up to Nia. I guess he's always the one who comes to me with ideas and lets me know. I mean, he's the director. It's what he does. But I'm always open for new projects. I think we have one in the backlog that we might finish up. But really, yeah, it's up to him.
Well, it was honestly, these ideas are they're just like being pop in your head. Like we made a song a while ago, like Slim Shako. It's a parody of the real Slim Shady, which I thought was pretty genius. It's just like this ideas pop. It's not like I have like certain plans, and I don't ever upload on my YouTube channel. It's just once in a while thing. Yeah.
All right, Jesse. A request from the chat. Can you do a beat, please?
Well.
Yeah, Jesse's a professional beatboxer, by the way.
Let's hope I don't disappoint, especially because I've got a blocked nose. All right, let's see. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Kill him.
And you can do that with a blocked nose. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so one final joke question for you guys. All right. So, and this is to really play on you Canadians calling it soda. If you could only drink one type of soda for the rest of your life, and the flavor of that soda was the name of a champion, what champion flavor would that soda be?
Wait. Doesn't everyone call it soda?
No.
I'm a little confused.
We call it soft drink over here in Australia.
So wait, is it like only Canadians call it soda?
No,
Canadians,
Americans, Canadians. We call it soft drink because we're so used to drinking harder drinks. Like,
Are you calling us? Is that saying something? Okay, well,
some whiskey on the rocks any day.
well, I'd say, let's see. Wait, you name a champion, and for a drink.
Yes. Do you want to just
fucking Molly Bear.
reiterate the question again, just in case?
All right. So, if you could only drink one type of soda for the rest of your life, so that's a long, long time, by the way, and the flavor of that soda was, the flavor of that soda was named after a champion. What champion flavor would that soda be?
Obviously, it'd be Coke and Volibear. Like, it's perfect combination.
That's
Yeah, I know.
good.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Coke, but at least it fits, and you might as well. It's too hard for me though. But yeah.
All about. I would have to say probably LeBlanc. It sounds a little bit fancy, so it could taste really nice.
I don't know. I probably would have drunk like some Tryndamere. Real manly drink there.
Yeah. Maybe some real cheap stuff. Gragas, who knows? But
Of course,
my answer would probably be LeBlanc.
I like the LeBlanc. It sounds like a fine wine. It's good.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Definitely red wine.
More about that Coke life because I'm Canadian.
Product placement.
Coke and Foley,
No one
that's
knows.
really good. That was
There
a
you
really
go.
good spot.
LeBlanc, it's all smoke and mirrors, man. It looks good on the outside. You drink it, and it's like, oh man, it's pretty bad. Tastes terrible.
You're a thinker.
But anyways, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. Are there any shout outs you'd like to make while you're on stream?
No, not really. Oh, shout out to all the fans. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Any particular fans?
No, just everyone, man. Just all the fans, because they're all great and stuff.
Show the love.
Yeah, pretty great. I'd like to give a shout out to obviously the viewers. You guys are the reason that we do what we do. Shout out to Near for being a sick-as director. Shout out to Nerdballer TV. They're going to have me over there to work for them 5 days a week, making League of Legends music. So you'll see a lot more from me coming soon. And a shout out to Riot for making an awesome game.
Awesome. So, if people want to follow you guys or find out more about you guys, where can they find you?
I mean, I guess you could find me on League of Legends memes. You could also follow me on Twitter, which I barely use. It's near OP, yeah.
And you, Jesse?
You can find me on SoundCloud at Flexizm. You can also find me on Twitter, which I also barely use, at Flexizm. And what else? Also my YouTube channel, which I'm sure will be in the description because I barely use that as well. I don't even use social media that much, so I don't even know why I'm talking about this.
Oh, and shout out to Diana. She's a great fan. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that concludes our podcast. Thank you to the viewers that have joined us today. DuoQueue Podcast will be back in a fortnight. If you enjoyed the show, please check the description below for our Facebook and Twitter. And also check out our website, duoque.net.au, where we post daily League of Legends news and strategies. A pretty good read, guys. So you can also follow me on Twitter at Alicifer, and you can find Jason at Grand Jason. This has been our first ever DuoQueue podcast. Thanks for watching. Signing off.
Next time, you get my back. Huh?